Breathing is very individualized. Does everyone need to relax their tongue and jaw? No. There's old ways of thinking about things and new ways of thinking about things. Hello everyone, it's time for an emergency video. Learning to sing is really hard, especially in this day and age when you have the internet. I'm going to talk about some of the things you might hear and why it's contradictory. Let's get into the list. Let's talk about breathing. You're going to hear sing from your diaphragm, take a belly breath, push down on your pelvic floor. That was one thing I was taught. Apparently, we're not doing that anymore. We're not pushing down on the pelvic floor. Fine, don't do that. Breathing now is more thought about in terms of your rib cage expanding and your abdominal muscles working to, for lack of better word, controlling the breath. The diaphragm is so controversial. A lot of teachers will say use the diaphragm. More so, I would think, to get you to breathe a little bit deeper. But technically, the diaphragm moves similar to like an eyelid. Okay. So to say to use a diaphragm is sort of misleading. Breathing is very individualized. If I say take a big breath, somebody's big breath could be, and somebody else's big breath could be, it's so easy for that to get lost in translation. I'm very careful to watch my students breathe, listen to how they're breathing instead of planting breathe like this. Let's talk about the next point, relaxing. Relax this, relax this, relax this. Most of the students that come to me need to relax their tongue. They need to relax their jaw. That's like a really common issue when you're just starting to sing. It's really common. Does everyone need to relax their tongue and jaw? No. There are some singers that I see for the first time and they're pretty relaxed in terms of the tongue, like being on the back of the bottom teeth. It comes from getting the tongue out of the way because a lot of people have tongue tension and their tongue slides back, and that's why you have this sound. It's extremely common. So that's why universally you hear relax your tongue, relax your jaw. If you have jaw tension, then it's going to affect your sound, as you can hear right now. If your tongue is pushed too forward, then it might be raising your larynx a little bit. Okay, so that's the kind of thing where you really need to get in your body and go, well, maybe I'm pushing it too far forward here in higher notes, especially. You don't want to raise your larynx too much. Ah! That was me trying to raise my larynx. So you might want to think like, okay, I'm actively not pushing my tongue super forward when I'm really high. I often say relax the tongue or push it forward. It's the same with the jaw. It's like I always tell people, open your jaw, open, 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 because most people don't open their mouth enough. They just really need to open it more. But sometimes you don't need to. It's more about clenching and jaw tension. Resonance. Resonance is a really confusing topic. I frankly don't use it so much as a vocabulary word anymore. When I was a beginning singer, it was used to describe that cutting through quality of the voice. It's that bright sound, more nasally sound. The mask, is synonymous with that as well. But y'all, the resonance thing, for instance, feeling the vibration here in your head voice, feeling the vibration here in your mixed voice, chest voice vibration here, if that helps you find your head, chest, mix, resonance, whatever you want to call it, use it. What I like to say more is, what kind of sound do you want? Let's focus more on creating that sound with the shape of our vowels or the breath, the airflow. If you want open sound, I'm not necessarily going to say feel the resonance in your head. We might say think of that nice open O vowel and how your tongue feels in the back and how your soft palate is lifted. But that's going to be person to person because some people's O vowels might not be open depending on their accent. It's just typically that's what it sounds like. Okay, the soft palate. I talk about the soft palate a lot, and it's also a thing that people bring up. Back in the day, this is not a new concept. It's one of those things again where some people need to lift it and some people are already lifting it. Most people, in my experience, need to lift their soft palate, which is why I say, make sure you're lifting it. Make sure you're lifting it. Because some people, they don't lift it, they don't even know about it. If you have never thought about the soft palate, definitely lift it. However, there's different degrees we lift the soft palate. There's times we hardly lift it at all. If you want a super open sound, oh, you're going to lift it a lot. If you don't, ah, you're not going to lift it that much. Both times I lifted it, one time I lifted it a lot, second time, not that much. If you have a really nasally voice, nasally tone, and you want to balance that out, which a lot of people do, then you're going to want to lift the soft palate. However, the whole idea of like lifting it a lot, that's sort of too broad and not nuanced enough. I think we covered everything. There's old ways of thinking about things and new ways of thinking about things. And I just wanted something to live on my YouTube channel about these specific topics. They are valuable topics, especially as a beginning singer. But if you take them and run with them, you might run into some problems. The best advice I can give you about singing is anytime you receive new information about how to sing better, put it in your body, try it out, and if it's not working for you, try something else. The voice science is pretty new. The way that we were taught, a lot of us were taught, was sort of a checklist of what to do in terms of breathing and your vowels, your jaw, and it's a lot of the same stuff I talk about now, but it was more broad. And it just really shows the disconnect between beginning singers, old styles of teaching, new science, and then the disconnect of scientists and teachers. Everyone's body is different. One of my students and I were talking about this recently. Some people have bigger tongues. So it's like this information that's out there about singing, it's helpful to a point, but you have to look at your own body. And the best way to do it is to feel it out, try new things. There's a lot of great strides you can make from watching videos. I mean, huge leaps you can make. You got to find a teacher you vibe with. I had a teacher who actually was not a great fit for me in terms of pedagogy and science, but my voice transformed with this teacher because singing's emotional. And it kind of gets me because it's not just about technique, even though that's huge. It's communicating, and you have to do that with someone that gets you or is trying to get you or is open-minded or is listening to you. And this particular teacher I had didn't give the best technique advice, but he was with me and he made me feel safe and he made me feel confident. And you have to have that with singing. And I grew a lot with that teacher. That's all that matters, is that you grow and that you like your voice more and you like singing more. All right, that was intense. I hope this helps. Let me know. All right, bye.